Wait a minute. What if Neanderthals never actually disappeared? That sounds impossible. After all, we're taught that Neanderthals went extinct nearly 40,000 years ago. End of story. But here's the strange part. If you carry Neanderthal DNA inside your body right now, can we really say they're completely gone? Scientists discovered that Neanderthal DNA is about 99.7% identical to modern human DNA. Even more surprising, many people today still carry fragments of their genetic code. Some individuals may have inherited up to 2% of the Neanderthal genome. So what does that mean? Were Neanderthals just primitive cave dwellers? Or is that one of history's biggest misunderstandings? The answer changes everything. Neanderthals weren't mindless brutes. They lived in organized family groups. They cared for injured members of their communities. They created sophisticated tools. They hunted efficiently. Evidence even suggests they cooked vegetables before eating them. And this is where it gets weird. Their brains were actually larger than ours. That doesn't automatically mean they were smarter, but it destroys the stereotype that they were intellectually inferior. So if they were intelligent, social, and adaptable, why did they vanish? For thousands of years, Neanderthals and modern humans shared the same world. They walked the same landscapes, hunted the same animals, faced the same dangers, and eventually, they met. What happened next may be one of the most important events in human history. Because when Homo sapiens encountered Neanderthals, they didn't just compete. They may have become family. And that's when things changed. For nearly 5,000 years, Neanderthals and Homo sapiens lived side by side across parts of Europe and Asia. Think about that. Two human species sharing the planet at the same time. But that's not even the craziest part. Researchers believe they interbred. That single fact explains why millions of people today still carry traces of Neanderthal DNA. In a way, pieces of them survived. But here's the mystery nobody can answer with certainty. Did Neanderthals disappear because they were defeated? Or because they became us? One theory suggests that modern humans simply absorbed the Neanderthal population through generations of interbreeding. Another theory paints a darker picture. As the Ice Age intensified, resources became scarce. Food grew harder to find. Competition became brutal. And Homo sapiens may have had a crucial advantage. Better social networks, larger populations, faster innovation. What happens next changes everything. Imagine history taking a slightly different turn. Imagine Neanderthals surviving, not as extinct relatives, not as fossils, but as a separate human species living beside us today. How would the world react? Would governments recognize them as equals? Would society welcome them? Or fear them? And this is where the story becomes deeply uncomfortable. Because history suggests that humans rarely treat those who are different with kindness. The question is no longer whether Neanderthals could survive. The real question is whether we would allow them to. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering another human species exists. Not aliens, not monsters, humans, almost identical to us, yet undeniably different. How would that change society? Would Neanderthals attend our schools, work our jobs, vote in elections? Or would they become outsiders in a world dominated by Homo sapiens? But here's the strange part. We assume they would struggle to adapt. Yet adaptation is exactly what they did for hundreds of thousands of years. They survived brutal climates, harsh environments, constant uncertainty. So maybe the bigger question isn't whether Neanderthals could fit into our world. Maybe it's whether our world could handle them. And then comes the twist that flips everything upside down. If Neanderthals still existed, the line between them and us might be impossible to draw, because many of us already carry pieces of them. Their legacy is written into our DNA. Their story is woven into our own. In a sense, they never fully vanished. They became part of humanity itself. And that's why the idea of Neanderthals returning is so fascinating. The comeback may have already happened. Every genetic trace, every inherited trait, every fragment of ancient DNA tells the same story. A story hidden inside millions of people alive today. So the next time someone uses the word Neanderthal as an insult, remember something most people never realize. Part of that ancient species may still be walking among us, or even looking back at you in the mirror. And if that's true, where exactly does Neanderthal history end and human history begin?